We're back in Minecraft and we're checking out Caves and Cliffs Part 1. So yes, the first part of the Caves and Cliffs update is now available for download and you can check it out. We're going to take a look at the different features that were added. You see that goat just fall down there? Anyways, I had a container of goats here. There were 6 of them. But yeah, the goats can jump really, really high. It's hilariously awesome. I remember I had 6 in here and I was just like, okay, well, I'm setting up my other creatures because I usually pre-plan everything. And then the goats just start hopping out of the cage like nothing. They're just like, woo! And I was like, whoa! Anyways, let's start out. We're going to go over like the patch notes and stuff. Obviously, the goats are kind of a big part here. So for context, they split the Caves and Cliffs into 2 updates. Just kind of like they did, I guess, with Aquatic, so, you know, just kind of be prepared for a later update at some point in the year where we get more options. So the Axolotl are another one of the new creatures. They're these weird fish-type things. They're amphibious creatures that spawn in underground water. So this is probably not like a natural spawn. Oh, and here's them in a bucket. I thought that might be like a fun kind of thing just to have as a scooped up one of them. I thought it would be funny. So holding a bucket of tropical fish will cause nearby axolotls to follow the player on both land and in water. They cannot be tamed but can be bred by feeding them buckets of tropical fish. So that's kind of something cool. I guess we could quickly show that off here. So we got a bucket of tropical fish. Ooh, they're interested in that, aren't they? Yeah. And then you can breed and you can have a little one, right? That's awesome. Look, there's a little one over there. So we could make this one have the hearts too, and then they can meet up and we get a bunch of little ones. Anyways, so they will attack fish, squid, drowned, and guardians. They come in a variety of colors with an equal chance of spawning except for blue. Blue have a small chance of spawning as a mutation when breeding 2 axolotls. Oh, that's kind of cool. They can survive on dry land for a few minutes, which we saw over there. And after that, they will start to dry out and take continuous damage until rehydrated. When taking damage, there is a chance that they will play dead. While playing dead, it will regenerate health and mobs will be unable to attack it. Oh, that's really cool to have a playing dead kind of mechanic in the game for that sort of thing. Oh, that's really neat. I wonder if we'll get to see that. That's so cool that they go on land. They're a little bit like a turtle. It's adorable. Look at that thing. I love these. They look so cool and so weird. Just absolutely zany. So when a player kills a mob that one of these creatures was attacking, they are rewarded with a regeneration effect, and their mining fatigue is removed if they had it. They can be picked up with buckets just like fish, which we obviously saw the bucket there. So next up is the goat. So, oh look, it's a good goat actually sitting in the cage. Thank you very much. I will call you Sir Goatingson. Anyways, the winner of the Minecon Live 2019 mob vote, the goat is finally here. So they spawn in the extreme hills, and this aspect will change when the Caves and Cliffs update is... Holy, they jump high. Wow! This will change when the second part of the Caves and Cliffs come out. So they will occasionally ram into other players and mobs. Goats can jump high and take less fall damage than other mobs. Obviously, we're seeing that. Goats will avoid walking into powdered snow, because that's another new thing. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. They can be bred and tempted using wheat. So another cow-type thing. So I guess we could grab a little bit of wheat. Yeah. Looks like somebody was a little excited about that. Goat's all excited here. So anyways, yeah, bred and tempted using wheat. They use an empty bucket to get milk. So we can... Oh, it's a little one. Look at it. Oh, it's cute. Anyways, let's get the milk. Oh no, we want an empty bucket. We don't want to... Oh, sorry, I'm clicking like weird things here. Bucket. It's just kind of scary because I've got this like clear crew of goats kind of looking at me right now. It's a little unsettling. So you can go up to a goat and then you can get milk from it. So you get a bucket of milk from milking the goats. So that's kind of a fun little feature there. Wheat. Huzzah. Oh, looks like everybody's jumping in here. They want some of that wheat action. Yeah, wheat for everyone. There's a countdown timer too with goats, obviously, for stuff. Keep an ear out because there might be an elusive screamer. So one of the goats might be someone that screams, kind of like the memes in that, you know, where the goats do intense like screaming in that. You might find that there's a goat that does that. There's a lot of these really happy goats everywhere all around, which is kind of funny. So that's kind of the goats. And we've got a lot of these creatures, so pretty easy to tame, or well, you know, basically breed the different options here as we've been seeing and kind of showing off there. It's pretty simple. Wheat for those guys, and you know, buckets of fish for these ones. Kind of cool. Then we have the glow squid, which I thought I had down here, but I think these things actually kind of attack it. So there's the glow squid. It's got a cool look to it, yeah, but those little things, they go after it, don't they? Pretty neat. So the glow squids, they were the 2020 mob vote character. Pretty cool. As you can see on land here, where it's not going to get it. Well, those things could come up on land and kill it. So they're aquatic creatures that spawn in underground water. When killed, they drop glow ink sacs, which I thought I had in my inventory, but nope, I must have gotten rid of it. It's just a slightly different ink sac. It's really not anything too amazing. It's just like, you know, it's just like a little blue one. I guess I did have it in my inventory. I don't know how I didn't notice that. Powdered snow. Oh, actually, I'm going to need the powdered snow when we talk about that in a sec here. So craft a glow item frame by combining a glow ink sac with an item frame in a crafting table. So we can do glow, and you can see we now have a glowing item frame. Glow lichen. Oh, that's interesting. And glowberries. Oh, wow. So yeah, then we got a glowy item frame thing. So it's a bit of a, it's got a glow to it, I guess you could say. So that's interesting. Any item in a glow frame will be perfectly illuminated even at night. So that's kind of cool. That's the whole point of the glow squids, is so that it's like a bit of a glow thing. Oh, that's a bit weird. And then we've got the glowberries. It's interesting. So if a sign is interacted with a glowing sac, the text will get a glowing effect. So that's kind of interesting. So a bit of a glow sign, I guess you could say. Oh, I didn't even know we had crimson signs and stuff. That's kind of cool. Why? And then I guess we need to get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And we could take this, and then it's supposed to have like a glow effect to it. It might not work because we're in creative. If a sign is interacted with a glow ink sac, the text will get a glowing effect. Huh. That's interesting. It's supposed to have an effect to it. I'm not showing it off too right, I guess. So now we have powdered snow. So we kind of got a bucket of it there, but I'm wondering if we can like kind of put it down, if that makes sense. Let's see, white concrete. No, we just have the bucket here. So then we get like a powder snow block. So I guess the goats don't really like this that much. Oh wow, that is weird. Okay, so it's got like a sinking sort of frost effect that happens on your screen. Oh, that could create very interesting mini games. Wow, that's actually really cool. So mobs inside start to freeze and eventually take damage. You can protect yourself by equipping leather armor. Strangely enough, giving leather armor a purpose for like the first time ever. Sorry, we're gonna make a bed here quickly so that we don't have to deal with the night. Don't suppose there's a glow bed. Bed is too far away. Unbelievable. So cauldrons fill up in snowy weather, creating a renewable source of powdered snow. It will also generate naturally in certain snowy biomes when Part 2 releases, so I guess this is not really a natural thing at this point. Buckets can be used to scoop up and place the powdered snow, which we did. Most mobs cannot walk on the powdered snow and they fall into the block instead. Skeletons transform into strays after standing in the powdered snow for a while. And wearing leather boots allows a player to walk on the powdered snow without falling in. That is actually quite fascinating. And one could say that these boots were made for walking. No, that didn't work out. Sorry, it's good. We gotta go to like the regular inventory, right? Let's see. There we go. Oh, we lost the powdered thing. Unbelievable, right? Okay, let's get the boots, and then we can go and put the boots on here. And we can walk on it now. That's interesting because it finally gives a little bit of a purpose to the boots. Oh, that's really quite neat. I like that a bit. There we go. So the glow lichen is a dim light source. That's this stuff here that we put down. In underground walls and underground lakes, use bone meal to spread it along block surfaces and harvest it using shears. So that's pretty straightforward. Then we have these amethyst kind of geodes. Amethyst geodes. Sorry, I gotta make this like the big thing. It's a lot easier for stuff. So let's look for geodes. No, that's not the geodes. Geodes. No. I guess I gotta find in the first keyword? That's a little weird. I think you'd be able to search for the second one. So then we've got a shard, obviously. I don't know if we can actually grow a geode specifically. Oh, there's the clusters and the buds. Diamond ore. Deepslate diamond ore. Oh, that's really, really cool looking. Huh. So that's the shard. There's one of the budding blocks. We're just going to have to replace stuff we got here with this stuff, just so we can show it all off here and you can get an idea of what it's looking like. Okay. So we've got the budding amethyst. There we go. And then we've got the block, which looks basically the same. Like it's slightly different. Slightly different. Pretty cool, right, Goat? And then we got the cluster, and then we have a large bud, and then we've got a medium bud, and then we've got a small bud. So that's kind of interesting. Well, that's pretty cool how these are all showing up. So these huge geodes can be found anywhere underground of the newly generated chunks in the overworld. They have a layer of smooth basalt blocks and a second layer of calcite blocks. Inside geodes, there's an inner layer of various amethyst blocks. All types of blocks, including clusters, create beautiful sounds when you walk on them. Ooh! They do! Huh. That's interesting. So, we talked about the sound. Go make some music. Yeah, you could use those for musical things. They come in block form inside geodes in two ways. Block and budding, which we talked about. Kind of showed those off. So the clusters grow from the budding amethyst, which can be found inside geodes. I'm butchering that word, I'm pretty 100% sure. You can get the different 4 stages that we're showing right here, the 4 stages options. Fully grown clusters drop 4 shards, which you can see right here. That's a shard. And drop 4 shards or more with the fortune enchantment when a pickaxe is used, and drop 2 shards when broken by hand, piston, or other means. Clusters can be mined with silk touch enchantment at any stage of growth. So then the budding ones, which are kind of this shape here, on any side of the block there is air or water, a source. A bud will eventually grow. They can grow when attached to the budding amethyst, will eventually grow to become a full cluster. Comes in block form inside the geodes in 2A. These are the blocks. Clusters can grow when they are placed on the budding. Okay, so these things can grow and stuff on there. That's interesting. The shards are used in a variety of crafting recipes. We have tinted glass. Ooh. I wanted tinted glass for a while. Tinted glass. So does that not mean we have the window options for tinted glass? Anyways, this is tinted glass, which makes sense. Oh look, there's a llama, alpaca over there. Anyways, though visually transparent, light does not pass through the tinted glass. It can be crafted by putting a glass block in the middle of 4 amethyst shards on a crafting table. Tinted glass can be obtained with silk touch enchantment and does not shatter when broken like normal glass. Oh, that's interesting. As I shatter it. So we still got some more. Don't worry, we're still rolling through this. Now we have up next is copper. And there's quite a few sort of things with copper, so it's kind of a little bit harder to talk about. So then you can collect the copper ores, as you can see with the raw coppers. So let's just take out, I guess, some of the block examples. I think is probably the easiest way to show the different types of copper that are available there. So we're just gonna plop those in the inventory and talk about it, because there are a lot of layerings to how copper kind of works in the game. So first up, we've got a block of copper. So this is like more of a pure block of copper. Then we have exposed copper. Then we have weathered copper, because you got to remember this is going to be kind of impacted by the environment. So that's the oxidized copper, the wax block of copper, the wax exposed block of copper, and the waxed weathered copper. And finally, the waxed oxidized copper. Oh, look, it's one of our little friends. He made it over here. That's interesting. Or they, or whatever. Anyways, we've got the lineup of blocks here. So copper ore can be found underground in the newly generated chunks and smelted into copper ingots. Blocks of copper and cut copper can be crafted, as well as stairs and slabs, which we showed. After being placed in the world, these blocks will oxidize over time, turning to exposed, weather, and so forth. So you can actually see an age change with your designs if you're using copper. that are not fully oxidized can be waxed to prevent further oxidization by using a honeycomb on the item, by using a crafting grid, or by using a dispenser loaded with honeycombs. Axes can scrape off wax and oxidization from the copper blocks. We also now have the lightning rod. I hope you guys are finding this somewhat interesting and helpful for your understanding what's new. So this is the lightning rod. You can place it on like different sides and stuff like that. So all lightning strikes that happen within a radius of 64 blocks from a lightning rod will strike this rod. Rods can be crafted using copper ingots and a crafting table. A lightning rod struck by lightning will emit a full redstone signal for 8 game ticks. That's pretty interesting. A little bit of a cool effect. I don't know how we would trigger that. Now we have the Spyglass. So this is a new kind of tool in the game that completely changes how you see things, obviously being a spyglass. So it's used to see faraway places that can be crafted with copper ingots and an amethyst shard. Amethyst? It's amethyst, right? I don't know why I'm having trouble with this today. And as you can tell, you can zoom in really far on things and see stuff in Minecraft that you normally wouldn't be able to see. It's kind of really exciting. So this will be great for exploration, where you're kind of like, oh, I wonder what's over on the horizon. Oh, that looks like a town over there. I wouldn't have even noticed without this thing. That's funny. So camera movement when looking through the Spyglass is slowed to make it more comfortable to use. And this is adjustable using the Spyglass damping slider in the settings on Bedrock Edition, because that's what we're talking about. We can talk about raw ore items. So raw copper, raw iron, raw gold. Items, ores that are smeltable now drop raw items forms instead of ore, or raw item forms instead of the ore of the block. So these can be smelted just like before. This is to prevent cluttering the inventory and have consistency with the fortune of all ores. Ore blocks are still smeltable, meaning you can smelt ore blocks you've obtained previously with the Silk Touch enchantment. Raw ore blocks added the block of copper, raw iron, and raw gold. Just like other ore items, you can craft a compact block with raw ore items to save your space. Raw ore blocks can be placed on a crafting grid to break down the original raw items, so that's kind of cool. Deepslate. So this is what we were talking about with some of the Deepslate items. So we're going to briefly kind of show that right here. So these are all the Deepslate options that are present. So you get a variety of different selections, and they all look kind of different for the blocks too as well. So we get the cracked, and then we got like the Deepslate block. So they're kind of like a different blackish gray type of block option, which would look really cool if you were making like a castle or something like that, I would think. So this is generated in blobs below y equals 16. Mining it with a pickaxe will drop cobbled Deepslate, which can be smelted back into Deepslate. When ore is generated in the same place as Deepslate variants of that ore are now generated instead. Deepslate blocks can be crafted into polished Deepslate tile, and Deepslate brick blocks, including slabs, stairs, walls. It can also come in cracked tile, cracked brick, chiseled, and infested variant models as well, so that's pretty in-depth. Stone tools can be crafted using the cobbled Deepslate. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So we got a new block that's called Tuff. So that's kind of an interesting terminology. They're adding a lot of weird stuff in this one. So this is a Tuff block. So I guess it's just tougher to deal with. New decorative block. Blobs of Tuff blocks generate in the world below y equals 16. So that's basically what that is. Pretty straightforward in that regard. You can sleep at night. It looks pretty dark here. New cave blocks. Lush caves and other biomes won't generate until the Caves and Cliffs Part 2. Many new blocks are now available through Creative. So there's lots of different options there. Talked about that. Trade and loot table additions. They added the following trades to the Mason. Will sell 4 dripstone blocks for 1 emerald. They've added to the Wandering Trader. Will sell 2 pointed dripstone for 1 emerald. Will sell 2 rooted dirt for 1 emerald. Will sell 2 moss blocks for 1 emerald. Moss blocks can be found in shipwreck chests, and glowberries can be found in mineshaft chest minecarts. So moss blocks. I kind of want to moss blocks. Well, I guess that's not really anything. Trying to think of moss blocks. Guess that's not too crazy. Oh, well, there's moss. Oh, okay, I get it. It's not like mossy blocks, but it's like blocks of moss and then carpeting. So this would be like for having a professional texturing thing done for your particular like landscaping. That's what that would be cool for. So we've got the dripstone block and the pointed dripstone. There's actually quite a lot of stuff in this one, which is kind of interesting. Dried kelp, pointed dripstone, and the Dripstone block, and a big Dripleaf. Oh, that is really, really quite cool. Huh. So we've got the Dripstone block, and then we've got the pointed drip stream. So it's kind of like a downward thing. So you could use it as like icicles. They should add icicles. What, do they have icicles? I'm trying to think of that for like house decoration. Icicles would be cool. So pointed dripstone can be placed on ceilings, oh my god today. Stalagmites, and stalactites. Oh geez. So watch out, if it's broken, it will fall and cause damage to players and mobs. Players and mobs will take damage if landing on a stalagmite, so you can have spike traps now. If it's underwater, or a water source or a lava source, it will slowly fill cauldrons. Oh, that's really fascinating. If you touch it, they will connect into a full column. Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. Huh. So you gotta, like, put it underneath it and that, and... Huh. You can make, like, big columns of them. That's pretty awesome. So, we talked about that. Dripstone block can be crafted with 4 pointed dripstones. That's the block here. Then we have the Dripleaf. I don't know if we can place the... So that's a big Dripleaf. You can walk on it too. That's the small one. Can we walk on that? No, we can't. You can walk on this one. Oh, and then it kind of like falls over. Oh, it's like a slow trap thing. Oh, we can make some really weird traps with this stuff, which is kind of fun. So the small Dripleaf will grow into a big one when fertilized with bone meal. It is a platforming block. Players and mobs on top of it will cause the block to tilt and drop. So we can make really cool traps as you fall down into the spiky death below. Look, it's just up here, and then it's gonna just like down onto the spike, and you get damage and stuff. That's actually really cool if you're doing like a platforming map. You don't have to fall into lava anymore. You can fall into spikes and it dies slowly. That's hilarious. So we talked about the moss block and the moss carpet. Are fertilized with bone meal. Moss has a chance of spreading to other blocks. Moss carpet, azaleas, and flowering azaleas have a chance of growing. The hoe is the most efficient tool to harvest moss blocks and moss carpet. So that's these two options here, the moss ones. Azalea are new flowering decorative plants. Too much content. Imagine if this was the full thing. Would have been crazy. So azalea leaves. So that's a flowering azalea. Oh, and then there's a non one, and then you just get the leaves. So that's like a plant type thing. That's kind of cool. So for these ones, they're decorative plants. They have a chance of growing after using bone meal on moss blocks. Fertilizing with bone meal will transform it into a tree with leaves that can be harvested. So that's kind of cool. Can also be used in a furnace as fuel. So now we have rooted dirt and hanging roots. Wow. Rooted. Is that rooted? Oh, that's a shroom light. Oh, wow, that's cool. Rooted dirt and hanging roots. So this is rooted dirt, and this is hanging roots, which I'm assuming we actually have to hang from somewhere. Yeah, so then we got hanging roots. That's interesting looking. So tilling rooted dirt with a hoe turns it back into normal dirt and drops having roots. Fertilized root dirt with bone meal causes hanging roots to grow below. So we had glowberries earlier. Glowberries can be planted on the bottom of most solid blocks to grow cave vines. They can be eaten and are nutritious as sweet berries. They are used to lure and breed foxes. Oh, so that's kind of exciting. We also have cave vines. So cave vines, which we'll quickly find here. Cave vines. Oh, I guess maybe there's not a specific thing for it. Maybe they're just vines. Grow or are fertilized with bone meal. They have a chance of growing glowberries. A cave vine that has glowberries emits light. So pretty. Cave vines are climbable. So then we have the Spore Blossom, which I think is like one of the last ones. Remember, there's other blocks that they've added that are more decorative and we're not seeing in world until, you know, the big update comes. Sorry, Spore. Oh, sorry, got a sponge. So these are the Spore Blossoms. I don't know if we can place them anywhere. I'm trying to think of where we can actually put these down. Only in creative inventory. They are a new decorative block that can be placed underneath any block. Oh. Oh, that's kind of lovely. It's a little Jurassic almost. I like that. So they added a few new achievements. Wax on, wax off. Apply and remove wax from all the copper blocks. Float your goat. Get in a boat and float with a goat. The healing power of friendship. Team up with an Axolotl and win a fight. So that's getting them to fight creatures. They've changed some changes to the game, improved visibility when swimming in underwater caves, new beautiful panorama for the menu, updated the appearance of the initial loading screen, which I think is a lot better. They've also added distant damage for sounds for burning, freezing, and drowning. That's exciting. And bone meal now makes a sound when used. Drown now drop copper instead of gold ingots. We've also got compass and clock texture items updated, and one textures have been updated to change for colors just to differentiate things. Oh wow, that's actually kind of cool. I don't remember houses quite being like this on the cliffside. That's really interesting. So that kind of covers all of the new features that are like specific and interesting right off the bat. Oh, no, one of those what are they called? Abandoned nether portals or broken nether portals. I was trying to see if there's like a cool cave so I can sort of show the underground area. But I'm just really excited about the changes we're going to be seeing to the game. It's quite exciting, I think, the adjustments. You know, it's just going to really, I think, alter the world of Minecraft in many interesting ways and give us something new, you know, to kind of work towards. I think that's going to be, you know, personally quite exciting for me to just kind of, you know, get this new stuff, you know, to come across new things and discover more of what Minecraft has to offer. Because it's always so exciting to get like a new update and to check out something new. So I hope you found this helpful. You know, be sure to like the video if you did, and then subscribe Exhaustum as well. And get out there and start exploring the new world and the adjusted world of Minecraft. And of course, the Caves and Cliffs is only going to get a little bit more intense once the Part 2 update comes. This is like prepping it, you know, basically for what's on the horizon, and I think that part of it is kind of really cool. Is there another one of those there? That is crazy that there's you know, so many of these spawning. So let me see if we can get down into a cool cave. I'm just gonna quickly get myself some torches. Ooh, the soul torch. But I'm just trying to see if I can... it's never lucky on finding cave stuff right off the bat. You gotta kind of get things going. But I mean, obviously things aren't going to be fully properly developed, if that makes sense. But I hope, you know, I kind of covered all of the blocks well enough so you got an idea of what's new in the game. That's actually really cool structuring there. And I'll see you next time on Minecraft. Usually cover the updates, you know, and show off what's new. But I'm quite excited with what they did and all of the new blocks and features that are present within this update. I think it's quite exciting for me personally because it gives me new stuff to do. And I almost wish that they did this more often, you know, these updates, so that we could, you know, have more stuff to cover and more things to go over in the game. But, you know, that's Minecraft. I hope you know, kind of found this interesting and generally helpful for your exploration discovery. And if you find something cool or find something neat that I maybe kind of missed that's out there in the game and they didn't note down, you know, I'm always happy to kind of hear about it and, you know, kind of discover what's different. Ooh, look at that. That's some of the new blocks. It's so cool seeing all the different, like, ore stuff now. Oh, wow. Under a little water area here. That is just so cool already. And I mean, we're just kind of even getting started on this one. So cool.